Join the conversation with the Morning Majlis, Pulse 95.
Well, this is definitely the best time to get vaccinated if you haven't done so already, because UAE residents, they're being urged, UAE residents above the age of 16, they're being urged to get vaccinated against the coronavirus. Because of the weekly COVID-19 briefing, authorities, they stress the need for everyone in the Emirates to be inoculated as soon as possible to protect the community and reduce the likelihood of virus mutations. According to Dr. Saif Al-Wahiri, spokesman for the National Emergency Crisis and Disasters Management Authority, he said, "Your hesitation today is an obstacle to our goals. It puts your family, loved ones, and community at risk. So receiving the vaccine will definitely contribute to immunizing and protecting this community from this pandemic. And this vaccine is our best means to recover and return to a normal life." So he made it very clear that restrictions for those who have chosen not to be vaccinated are being considered. What does that mean? He said that strict measures are being considered to restrict the movement of unvaccinated individuals and to implement preventive measures such as restricting entry to some places and having access to some services to ensure the health and safety of everyone. So it definitely comes with a price if you're not willing to get vaccinated.
It's interesting, isn't it, how things are going to be changing.
Definitely.
Because at the moment they're considering it, so it's not implemented, guys.
It's not implemented.
Yeah, so don't panic. The National Crisis for Emergency or National Emergency Crisis and Disaster Management Authority has issued a series of tweets, and they came in yesterday evening. In fact, at around 10 p.m. And they said, "We call on the public, both citizens and residents above the age of 16 who did not get vaccinated, to visit the nearest vaccination center and get the vaccine. Delaying or refraining from taking the vaccine will pose a threat to the safety of society and put all groups, especially those most vulnerable to infection, as it poses a major challenge to the national efforts to recover." Hashtag Together We Recover is the official tagline for this. Look, in terms of how things will change, we'll give you an example. I went down to the Tasjil in Sharjah 2 weeks ago, and there was an announcement that if you are to visit any of the police stations, any of the government centers, you need to have a negative PCR test, right?
Yeah.
I did not know that. I forgot it. So I just turned up and they said, "Look, if you don't have a negative PCR test, you can't come in."
Uh-oh.
And then I said, "Oh, I forgot." And they're like, "Did you get vaccinated?" And I said, "Yes." Then I showed them my Al-Husn, and it clearly stated that I've been vaccinated. I've received both my doses, and then they let me in. So those kind of restrictions of services that they're potentially looking at restricting could be in this sense.
Right.
As opposed to saying, "No, you can't walk down this sidewalk because you're not vaccinated." I don't think it's going to be to that extreme. But availing certain services, let's say even flying an airplane, I think one of the big reasons why I decided to get vaccinated when the Sharjah Broadcasting Authority offered it to us, because at the back of my mind, I knew that eventually, for world of travel, you will need to be vaccinated.
Right,
And
definitely.
That's exactly how they tested it as well.
Right. Even when we go, for example, the other day, I remember a friend of mine wanted to go to Sharjah Police, and then she said that you have to carry a PCR test.
Yeah, exactly.
In order for you to go in, you can't just go in anymore like that.
But if you're vaccinated, you're okay.
Yeah, you're vaccinated, you're okay.
Yeah. So it's just like,
so we're already kind of seeing it implemented in some ways.
To an extent, yes.
To an extent, yeah.
And it's going to be, when they say certain services are going to be restricted, it seems as if it's going to be on that level. So,
and there are still restaurants also offering those offers.
Oh, yeah, they are.
If you're vaccinated, you're going to get 50% off. I actually encountered that.
Really?
Yeah.
Do they say, "Hey, you vaccinated?"
Yeah, they have a sign next to the restaurant, outside the restaurant, or the restaurant, and they have a sign, if you're vaccinated, 50% off on your meal. And then you pull up and then you tell them, "Yeah, I'm vaccinated." And they're like, "Okay, we need your proof." And you have to fill out a form, and then
you get a discount.
You get a discount, 50% off. Yeah.
Wow.
One of the food outlets that I went to. But I mean, the aim now is to reach herd immunity. That is definitely the aim and the focus in the coming period. It will be to vaccinate every single person in the United Arab Emirates. And also, According to Al-Lahiri, the effectiveness of the vaccine ranges from very good to excellent. And according to a recent study conducted in Abu Dhabi, no deaths were reported among fully vaccinated residents who contracted COVID-19. So the efficacy of vaccination in preventing hospitalization is also at 93%, and reducing the need for ICU is at 95%. Spectacular.
Yeah, vaccines could be
Great
effective
results,
on that
yeah.
for sure. And of course, a lot of people are still concerned, especially when I went on a fully vaccinated flight with the big airline over here, and also that we were still wearing face masks was because the medical professionals on board also said that unless we reach herd immunity, we won't be able to remove our face masks because vaccinations are protective against COVID-19, but not 100% effective. So bear that in mind. And that's one of the reasons why we're encouraging the public to get vaccinated. And those who have pre-existing conditions, major ones, they should consult the doctors first based on their medical conditions, see a specialist doctor at approved medical clinics to determine whether a vaccination is possible for them or not. So that could be one useful tip to take back. Well, stay with us on the Morning Majlis. We shall return right after the news headlines. We've got that big riddle for you to answer as well. So do stay tuned. After 9 o'clock, we'll announce the riddle again for you to guess and stand a chance to win 500 dirhams courtesy of Sharjah Chamber of Commerce and Industry as well as Pulse 95 Radio. Stay tuned. This is the Morning Majlis on Pulse 95.
Pulse 95.
The Morning Majlis, talking the stories that are shaping headlines. This is Pulse 95.
This is Pulse 95 and a very warm welcome back onto the Morning Majlis. Now we're going to be talking about what people like doing, and most of the time when they're waiting for iftar or maybe waiting for suhoor, times not the best of all things to do, but some people do it. They watch a bit of Netflix to kill their time, right? Now, the video streaming giants, they've been reporting a slowdown in subscriber growth. About 3.98 million people signed up for Netflix between January and March, well short of the projected 6 million. The company said a lack of new shows may have contributed towards that fall, adding that it expected this to recover as sequels to hit shows are released. Netflix shares also fell 11% in after-hours trading to $489.28, wiping $25 billion off the company's market capitalization. Are you one of those who are very angry at Netflix?
Not really. I believe maybe the reason for this is because Netflix content, they're not so Ramadan friendly.
Oh.
Maybe that's why. And another reason is maybe because a lot of us Arabs, we are hooked on Netflix. But now with Ramadan season, we have a lot of Arab shows to watch.
Okay.
That is the time to watch the Arab series and shows. That is the time they all wait for Ramadan to showcase their series and work. So
one thing
I think we're too busy watching.
True.
What's on Shahid, for example. That's another platform as well. That's the Arab platform. That's the Arab version of Netflix. Is Shahid. Maybe we're too busy with that, or too busy with what's on TV right now, or we're just too busy with Ramadan and the festivities of it.
Or too busy napping.
Or napping, yeah.
Or, look, I mean, one thing that's quite interesting is now, I'm not here to advertise or to sort of self-promote too much. Is on Pulse 95 Radio's Instagram account, as well on the radio as well, we play what's called Messenger of Mercy.
We do. Right.
That's like a 3-minute little segment talking about the teachings of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him. And we've also got the Ramadan recipes that we post on Instagram every other hour. So if you're into trying something new, if you're into wanting to learn a little bit more on the significance of Ramadan every day, those type of content is worth watching and sharing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because not many media stations do this.
True.
Especially during Ramadan, so it's quite important to focus on it now.
And we have to embrace it. It's only 1 month of the whole year.
True.
So we have the rest of the year to watch Netflix or do other things. So maybe this is the time to embrace the holy month and the teachings of it and what it really stands for.
Exactly. And this is one of the reasons why the market capitalization fell, I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
Why not? Probably. But
I mean, new subscriber additions, they were some 2 million below Netflix forecast.
yeah.
So, yeah.
I think it's competition as well. There's so much competition. As you said, Shahad is out there. Amazon Prime is out
Right.
there as well. Yeah, Netflix is the big thing, but more people are keeping themselves busy nowadays. And if there's no new shows, if there's nothing engaging, then yeah, it's going to hit the subscriber base. But as soon as big shows such as Money Heist, they come back, it's going to pick up for
But
sure.
they're blaming it on the pandemic. The
Yeah.
executives are saying that we believe the paid membership growth slowed due to the big COVID-19 pulled forward in 2020 and a lighter content slate in the first half of this year due to COVID-19 production delays.
True.
That's what they're saying.
Makes sense now. Well, stay with us on the morning Majlis. We're preparing for the world of sports headlines. Lots of people coming back with the responses for the quiz question this morning. I'm going to give shout out to all of you. Ibrahim as well, recent texter. Well done for getting it. I have a feeling it might be right. Look, we don't know the answer. The answer will be released or revealed tonight at 9:30 p.m. on the Evening Karak show. But the big question today is this. Let's listen in to the riddle.
Riddle me this, riddle me that.
If you've just joined us on the show and missed out on the riddle question that we're asking all of you, the question goes, you ride on a horse followed by take this again. You ride on a horse followed by a car. On your right flies an airplane. Where are you? Text us if you know the answer on 4215 and you stand a chance to win 500 dirhams courtesy of Sharjah Chamber of Commerce and Industry. This is the Morning Majlis only on Pulse 95.
Join the conversation with the Morning Majlis, Pulse 95.
Whoa, okay. This is something I thought would happen eventually, but I never thought that it would become a reality right now.
And in Saudi Arabia.
Exactly. Why are we so confused? We've been always talking about robots eventually taking over our jobs.
Yeah.
How about your waiters being robots? And everyone said, no way, hospitality, you need that personalized experience. But hang on a minute, COVID-19 has made it even more important and made it even more intense in terms of how contactless service is the thing. And in Saudi Arabia, they've got that well on track.
Yeah, and we've all been there before. You order a meal in a restaurant, the waiter arrives with a pasta salad instead of a chicken biryani, for example. Well, that's not the case at a restaurant called Restaurant Robot in Jazan in Saudi Arabia. And as the name suggests, the waiters are not fallible human beings, but robots instead, powered by sophisticated artificial intelligence. So there are 6 robot assistants. They're operating in the city center restaurant to deliver trays of Asian dishes to patrons. And the system was originally set up as a precaution to reduce human contact during the coronavirus pandemic, but it has proved a hit with visitors. So it became like Instagrammable kind of a thing, not just a precautionary measure. But in a system designed by young Saudi engineer Riham Omar, the restaurant's interior has been fitted with strategically placed sensors that allow the robots to move about and take food to customers. And according to the designer, the engineer, Riham Omar, she said thanks to the sensors, the robots can sense anything standing near them, allowing them to stop walking or change their routes accordingly. And each robot has had a map of the restaurant's interior and the location of each table programmed into their memory. So when the robot gets to the targeted table, customers can pick up their food and order the robot to leave.
Yeah.
So cool.
It's incredible, isn't it? I mean, this is...
And it's scary at the same time.
But they look like cool robots.
I don't want people to lose their jobs for robots for some reason, even though it's a cool technology that we're having around us. But it's sad for people to lose their jobs.
Yeah, and they're saying, look, the developers of this saying each robot has had a map of the restaurant interior and location in them.
Yeah.
And cultures are changing. People are now eager to discover new technologies, improve their quality of life. What if a battery runs out in a robot?
Exactly.
What if the robot drops something?
Can you complain? Can you
No.
issue a complaint against the robot? How are they going to punish the robot?
Yes.
I mean, they punish human beings. They can punish robots.
Well, robots will not complain about having sick leaves. Robots will not complain
True.
about taking time off. Robots will not complain about, let's say, what else will they not complain about?
Having family problems.
Working too hard. If you're making a robot work too much, its battery's going to run out.
Right.
Simple. It
That's
works like
it.
a human being as well to an extent. So you've got to keep it in charge, give it the rest and recovery.
Don't we
that it-
want the human-to-human interaction, like the emotional aspect of it? I feel like that's so important. You know, when like a person smiles at you, like a waiter smiles at you and says, hi, you know, like he's being very nice.
Now it goes two ways, to be honest. Look, I've been to an eatery where it was completely contactless. So you literally scan a QR code, add to your bill, mention your table number and pay it immediately. The food will come and they'll give it to you.
Right.
No interaction with the waiter. So that's the contactless payments or whatever. Then I went to another restaurant, a high-end restaurant, and the waiter there was over-friendly. And he said, oh, I recommend this dish. I recommend you to do this and do this. It was more like he imposed my bill, my order on me.
You're right. Yeah.
And I said, okay, I mean, if you're insisting so much, I'll go for it. And when it did arrive, it didn't taste, and it came very quickly. And I used to think, why did this waiter push me to have this meal? It came so quick. Two things went to my mind.
He was a salesman.
Firstly, he's a salesman. Secondly, that restaurant probably mass produces those dishes that they're so easily available that he comes in and gets it overdone,
That's
eats
right.
quick and run away. Or someone else made an order, didn't like it. They were like, okay, you know what? We'll just give it to you.
Oh.
It could be that as well. So you could think of it this way. And that's why sometimes being too pushy and being too involved is also not the best of all things. And a robot will be straightforward. What's your order? Bring it to you. Done. Eat.
It depends on your school of thought, how you like portray things and how do you like your things done. For me, it's all about interaction. I wouldn't really enjoy robots. I would like to see that, just to say that I saw that and experienced that, but I don't want that to be the norm, from my point of view, of course. And you know, when you go to a restaurant, really, if the waiter really impacts your decision to come back to that restaurant or not, more than sometimes the food.
Yeah,
It's the service.
that's what hospitality is all about,
Exactly.
isn't it? Yeah.
So.
Well, stay with us on the Morning Majlis. We'll let you ponder over this idea. Send us your thoughts and messages on the text lines 4215. Would you go to a restaurant that has robots
Plus,
as
robots
waiters?
will not remember your name next time. You know how like you go to a restaurant and they say, "Oh, welcome back, Mr. Hanif."
Unless robot has facial recognition technology
Unless.
and it remembers what you like to order and it comes up, it looks at you, scans, shows you a menu saying this was your last order.
You're
Would you
always
proceed?
one step ahead of me.
It's always good. It's good, you know, it could be ideal. Thinking about the future. Well, you never know. Text us on
All right.
4215 if you agree and think that
What
could
do you guys? Please join us in this conversation.
Yeah.
Do you prefer the human to human interaction more, or would you prefer the robot interaction more?
Exactly.
So it's me against AK.
True. Text us on 4215. We'll be back again, and this time we'll talk about the sports and unfold this drama that's happening, especially when it comes to the Super League. Stay with us. This is the Morning Majlis, only on Pulse 95.
Stay fit. Stay fit. Stay fit.
Yeah, lots of people texting in as well, sharing their thoughts and opinions on the world of the contactless robots. There's a person, his name is Arib, saying, I'm going to be starting a company which will be dealing with QR codes and contactless dining, but it will be more advanced and affordable considering the pandemic cost cutting and giving the person dining personal space. I feel it's important and one thing of the future when it comes to the QR code
That's
option.
understandable.
I understand, but I'm still so old school, to be honest. I don't like QR code menus.
Me too.
They're just such
To
a
be
waste.
honest.
Imagine your phone battery's low. and you
Unlike
think,
my friends, like all of them, they love it. For me, no.
I want is the experience.
I'm
of
a
going through the-
traditional person. So I'm old person.
You want to see the picture of what you're eating,
Yeah,
really. QR
exactly.
code doesn't really show you that. It just says, oh, this is this and how much it's priced. So
Sometimes it doesn't work on my phone. Most of the time, so I have to use my friend's phone.
there you go.
So
Well, Why we're staying fit? The reason why we're staying fit is because...
We're talking about the European Super League.
Yes, talking about the European Super League. It's had a rise and fall in a matter of 2.5 days.
Yeah.
2 days ago, it was the thing.
Biggest story.
Biggest story that's happening. And then now, after 6 teams from England, Premier League teams withdrawing from the competition, it's all over. Well, the Super League said it would consider the appropriate steps to reshape the project. The 12 Super League team Super League was announced on Sunday, attracted widespread condemnation. Manchester City confirms they have formally enacted the procedure to withdraw. Liverpool said their involvement in the proposed breakaway league has been discontinued. Manchester United said they had listened carefully to the reaction of our fans and the key stakeholders and their decision to not to take part in it as well. This comes off the back of threats by the UEFA saying that the players will face sanctions. They will not be allowed to take part in their own international teams if they were to do something or take part in it. Now, the idea was to save football, according to the Real president. One of the reasons why they started this league was money-driven. JP Morgan and Chase was saying we're going to invest $4 billion rather, into this league. Each signing team or each founding member or club will get $300 million in cash.
Yeah.
When you think about clubs who have to pay such extortionate amount of salaries, a big bonus or a big signing bonus is music to their ears, so they jumped on the bandwagon. Understandable for the club's perspective. But fans and football fraternity did not accept it at all.
No. And Tuesday's developments came shortly after the Super League won a preliminary ruling from a Madrid court to stop European soccer body UEFA and also the sports global governing body FIFA from imposing sanctions to stop the new formation. So the court said that FIFA, UEFA and all its associated federations, they must not adopt any measure that prohibits, restricts, limits or conditions in any way the Super League's creation. So it was not immediately clear what authority the Madrid court, which kind of the corporate disputes, had over the Swiss-based soccer bodies, and a source close to UEFA said the organization was relaxed about the ruling. But the Super League has been hoping that a mix of defensive court action and momentum would lead soccer's authorities to accept their new competition within the game. But that's the situation that's been going on. Even Boris Johnson got involved in this.
Yep, of
he
course.
He commented on it.
Boris Johnson for sure getting involved and having his say on the matter for sure. But that would be it, really, guys. If you've got an opinion to share, do text us on 4215, and it'll be great to have your thoughts on the program. For the time being, the Morning Majlis is now going to be heading off. We are done with the show, and would like to invite you all to take part in that Majlis quiz / riddle of Pulse 95.
Let's repeat it again.
Yeah, the riddle question once again, all of you, for all of you out there is... And it is going to be an interesting one, so let's play this again.
Yes.
Riddle me this, riddle me that.
Question is, you ride on a horse followed by a car. On your right flies an airplane. Where are you? If you know the answer, have a vague idea, can guess it, text us on 4215 with your name. You stand a chance to win 500 dirhams courtesy of
Sharjah
Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So,
and Sharjah Broadcasting Authority.
Sharjah Broadcasting Authority,
yes.
For sure. Well, for the time being, the Majlis will be heading off, and we will be returning bright and early tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. again.
We will be, and if you want to catch what we talked about today, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud. Or you can type in Pulse 95 Radio on YouTube to see us, see our faces. As we discuss today's developments, just look for the Morning Majlis playlist, subscribe, share, and like. Don't forget that. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for all your texts and your involvement in our conversations and also in the riddle. So stay tuned to Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of The Morning Majlis, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.
Pulse